With the gun control debate exploding across the country, one Kentucky sheriff sending a strong message to the feds. Jackson County Sheriff Denny Payman insisting you are never going to pull guns out of Jackson County. So how does he intend to make good on that declaration? Sheriff Payman joins us. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you this evening?
Very well. So tell me, what happens if President Obama issues some executive order and increases control over guns or weapons? You're not going to enforce it?
With executive order?
Yes.
Okay. Well, when I swore oath to a community, a group of people who live in Jackson County. I swore oath to the Constitution, which I swore oath also to the Constitution of Kentucky. And in that Constitution is the Second Amendment, and that's what this country is based upon. How can I rightfully, in my own mind and in my heart, come in and take guns away from people when that is their protection? In an area our small, we're in a rural county, we're in a rural area. Sometimes it takes 30, 40 minutes to respond to the remote part of our county to protect our people. They can call on a cell phone, and I can say I'm en route. I can be talking to them. A guy kicks their front door. I would rather them be armed and be able to take care of themselves and to, in my mind or my heart, take the guns away from them.
Is there any margin or area in which you would sort of amend or do anything with the existing gun law in this country? Is there anything differently that you would do if you had all the power?
Well, it's just like if you take out part, it's kind of like the Bible. Either you believe it or you don't believe it. The Constitution, either you believe it or you don't. You either live by it or you don't. I think people have tried to compromise it, tried to tweak it, mold it to whatever best suits them financially or for whatever other reason, reasons. But it's still the Constitution. It's still what we are founded on.
What is your theory, or why do you think that we've had these incidents like the movie theater in Aurora, Colorado, the shooting in Newtown, Connecticut, the brutal shootings like individual shootings in Chicago? People have been highlighting what's been going on in Chicago, especially a lot of the young people in Chicago. What's your thinking behind? Why are we seeing this violence? What's the cause, or is there one cause?
Well, there's a lot of different causes. If you could look at each of the people that are doing it, you go back to they're talking the movies, the games, desensitizing the children to where they're actually growing up with the way a lot of them that do it don't even realize they're doing what they're doing because they've been doing it every day on a game. But I had a chance to talk to a journalist, and this journalist, after he interviewed me, I had an opportunity to talk and interview him. And he said, I asked him, I said, so you get a phone call and you answer the phone, it's your wife, and she's panicked. You can hear gunfire in the background. You can hear children screaming, and she's saying, honey, I just called to tell you goodbye because they're coming down the hallway. These guys are shooting, and they're coming to my room next. And so I asked this guy, I said, I'll ask him, I said, so what would you rather have, a cell phone in her hand or a firearm? I think by arming the people, and he answered, a firearm. If the people in the theater, if there had been somebody in there or several people in there with a firearm, how many people would have got shot? In the school, how many people would have got shot?
So if you were president, if you had all the authority you could, what would you do to sort of put the lid on some of these incidents so that they didn't happen? What's your solution?
Well, I think it still goes back to, and I know with the Second Amendment, the way it was designed, was to protect the people from the government. And, but, in protection, it's just like if I'm a bad guy and I'm going to go kick a door, but I know the guy behind that door has a gun, and I go to this other door where I know a guy doesn't have a gun, that's the door I'm going to kick. You're still going to have instances, you're still going to have violence. You're not going to be able to curb that, but the innocent people are going to be able to protect themselves.
Sheriff, thank you very much, sir, and we'll be watching to see what happens because everyone is curious how this is going to develop here in Washington and across the country. But nice to see you, sir. Hope you come back.
Thank you.